everybody, I'm standing inside Wabasha Brewing right now, and we are about ready to meet the owners and the brewers of this fantastic beer that I'm holding on here. So why don't you grab a beer and kick back with us and relax. Here's to you guys. Prost! Hey guys, welcome back. I'm inside Wabasha Brewing right now, and I'm here with the three owners and founders of Wabasha Brewing. Guys, thanks for having us here.
Thanks for coming.
I've already had a sneak preview of some of your beers, and I can't wait to show some of our audience of it. But I am here with Tiki. You're in charge of sales and distribution, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm here with Brett. He's the head brewer, brewer/brewmaster, and then of course we have Chris. You are the CEO/paperwork guy, if I remember right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the history of the brewery. So, what brought you three together?
Go ahead. Well, I pretty much all about Brett's beer. He started out, brewing at home, and we were always drinking his beer. So he kind of got me into brewing as well at that point, and we, continued on. He was doing much larger batches as I was doing small batches, 5 and 10 gallons, but I think he was in the 30 and 50 gallon range at that time.
Okay.
So yeah, we just continued from there, drinking beer, and everybody said, "Hey, you guys make great beer," and kind of continued on from there.
Did you have like a signature beer or anything that you were known for?
I was pretty all over the board at that point. I didn't really have a signature. I mean, I suppose our cream ale, I was making that one a lot. A lot of people liked that one. The jalapeno cream ale, I was making at the time too, that a lot of people were talking about then.
What was the craziest beer you homebrewed?
Oh. I've never really started.
You got a horseradish porter out there on your repertoire? Or?
I guess I've never gotten too crazy. I always kind of stuck mainly to the basics of the good quality of the recipes, not getting all out there and putting the weird stuff in beers. I'm more of just the jalapeno cream ale is about as crazy as I've got.
And that was a delicious one. I've already had a little sample of that one. So, did you ever make a hotter version of that one, or?
I've always made a hotter version of that one, but you just can't do it for the public.
Yeah, for sure. So then how do you fit into this picture?
Well, these guys have known each other a while. I started actually bowling with Brett, and then we kind of reconnected and realized we'd known each other since we were 17 and probably hung out at the same old bunkhouses back in the day. And he introduced me to Chris. Chris had just bought this building. Brett was making good beer. I've been in the beer industry 15 years plus. Started working at the Arizona Renaissance Festival, managing all their beer, driving for distributors, cleaning beer lines, moving into this with these guys, and we all kind of honed in what we're doing.
Okay. So now you guys have actually had you guys have officially been a brewery since 2013 now, correct?
Yeah.
So where was the key step into saying, hey, we're going to take this professional? What was the key deciding factor behind it?
It was Chris being stubborn. When he told me that we should open up a brewery, we were drinking beer in the garage, and I said, "Yeah, let's do that." And then a month later, he said, "Come down to my office," and he just signed his paperwork. And I didn't need you to do something. He said, "Come down to my office," so I just came down. And then he pushed his paperwork, wanted me to sign it. And I was like, "What am I signing?" He was like, "That brewery we're opening." I was like, "Oh, this is happening." You gotta give me 48 hours to think about it. That's how I remember it. That's not the way you remember it.
So Chris, what's your side of the story on this
That's
one?
not how I remember it. And it was a much longer process. Tiki brought up the bowling. This actually began even while the brewing was going on. We used to meet up because they decided for a while they didn't want to bowl. They just wanted to drink beer. So we actually made a game just to go and drink beer, and then we'd have this little bowling thing along with it at the bar. So we weren't even at a bowling alley. And we started talking about it more and more as a group at that point. So that's kind of how it became. Yeah, he said yes, and that was, once the yes was there, I started filling out paperwork, really, yeah.
So you didn't wait until I was sober.
So before opening up a brewery, what did you guys do?
Well, I'm still doing it. been selling abrasives and industrial supplies for many years, own my own company doing so. So that's still going on as well. So I still do that actually in the same building. That's really what I bought the building for, and we had this nice open space back here. So that's where we decided to put the brewery.
Okay,
And I was a commercial construction worker.
okay.
What haven't I done? And I traveled around, like I did a lot of landscaping, tree trimming. I traveled around the Renaissance Fair for a good chunk of 10 years. I've walked elephants, served coffee, you know, and
You walked elephants, hold on, you walked elephants?
walked elephants, camels, llamas, ponies. I worked with a lot of different people before I ended up in the beer area of the Renaissance Fair, which went from serving beer to managing the beer, running their beer program,
But this was all after the elephants.
all after the elephants. Came up, I actually was looking for a job with Budweiser for a long time in St. Louis and in Arizona, working for Golden Eagle. And I'm coming up here and found a job with the distributor, Hohenstein's. Drove truck with them for a while, moved on to line cleaning, moved on to working with these guys.
Now, before we move on, now I heard you guys have some nominations coming up here, and it's kind of a big deal this year. You guys want to talk to us a little bit about that? I know you've got at least two.
We got nominated for best brewery and
Best new brewery.
best new brewery, and you know, it's just an honor to be nominated. I guess I didn't really see that one coming, so that's kind of cool.
Especially seeing a lot of the names we're paired up with too. It's,
Yeah.
What are the other names? I haven't seen the ballot this year.
I know one of them is Fair State, one of them I think is Insight.
Insight still considered a new brewery?
Maybe I'm misspeaking then on that. We have an issue up there, we can grab it and check if you want to cut and do a full show with it. I'm also nominated for Best Beer Tattoo.
Well, we're gonna get a close up of these tattoos here. So go ahead and tell us about the tattoos a little bit.
These are the hops that we use a lot of these hops in brewing. I wanted them to be all the hops we use in brewing. Mostly what they are is the only hop chart I could find online.
Okay. Now these are all hops you guys actually use in the brewery now too, right?
We use Cascades in our cream ale, and in our IPA we use Fuggles in our porter, and we use the Hallertau's in our Red Bonnet Amber.
We use Nugget again.
That's for you to answer. I'm still learning those.
And our stout.
And our stout. Anything else?
I don't think so.
We'll use them eventually.
We use stuff that's not on there, so you need to get
We
updated.
need to update, get some on the front
There
side.
you go. So there you go, guys. If you guys haven't voted yet for It's Kind of a Big Deal awards yet this year, be sure to go out and give Wabasha a nod. They definitely deserve it. All right, I'm now back in the actual brewery portion of Wabasha Brewing here. So tell us a little bit about your brewery. Let's start with what's your guys' capacity?
We've got a 15 barrel system. We've got two 7-barrel fermenters over here, a 10-barrel fermenter, a 10x8 cooler, and a bar packed into a 500 square foot area. So it gets, we struggle a little bit back here sometimes when we're brewing.
But now-
Things get in the way.
But now you guys are going to be opening up the downstairs portion of this building here in the near future.
Well, hopefully within the next couple of months we'll be open down there, and then the bar and the cooler and the wall will be taken out. This will all become a brewing area here. More
Okay.
tanks.
Okay. So if there was one aspect of the brewery that you guys had to keep here, if you guys had to start like completely over, brand new building, brand new location, everything, what's something that you would personally want to take with you to the next location?
Whole system.
The taps in the wall.
The taps on the wall? Well, the brewer says the whole system, and the sales
system
guy
is
says
great.
the taps on the wall.
I
So.
say the Crawford system.
The Crawford system is great. This brewing system is awesome. Gives us hardly any problems at all.
Now you guys were telling me earlier that you guys are like some of the first people in Minnesota here to have a Crawford system.
The first people in Minnesota.
The first
Crawford
people.
system. Crawford started doing dairy tanks. They're from the Quad Cities,
Mhm.
which we found out is 5 cities. Kind of weird, but they were doing mostly dairy equipment, and we were, I think, their 4th or 5th customer.
Okay. So what prompted you guys to decide to go with Crawford over somebody else?
We looked at a lot of the other systems around, and these guys were offering up a lot more customer service and a lot better of a price. Was the
Okay.
main thing.
Local.
And local.
made.
Union
local.
made. Local and union made.
Okay. So, do you guys have anything in the fermenters these days, today?
Right now, all the fermenters are empty. We just emptied them today. We just kegged up some amber, some West Side Popper, and our new Imperial Stout.
The new Imperial Stout. I had a little sneak preview of that one. That was pretty good. So, how long did that one take you guys to brew?
The brewing process itself was about the same as any other brewing, but it fermented for 30 days.
For 30 days? Okay. So, from boiling to actually being able to be served, roughly on average, how long does it take to do the average batch?
Most batches are about 2 weeks, 2 weeks and a day.
Okay.
Some beers take a little longer. Sometimes we let them sit, we rotate them with the new batches. When you give them another week, it gives them just a little more life to them. They're a lot less green then.
Do you actually help out with any of the brewing?
I do. When we first got in here, first of all, the cooler was my office.
Okay.
Now the mash tun is my office, and sometimes the boil kettle is my office. So I climb into both these tanks. I do a lot of the cleaning in here. I'm learning the brewing process slowly from our brewmaster. About the last 2 years, I've been learning the brewing from him.
Okay. How often do you guys brew in a week?
We brew right now, since we have the new 10 barrel in. We're brewing 2 times every other week.
2 times every other week?
Yeah, we try to do, we blast everything out in 2 days and then let it sit for the 2 weeks.
So now I'm noticing this cowbell here. That's not something I see in a normal tap room or even in a brewery. What's the story behind this?
Our head bartender found this after we used to yell out, "Last call!" and scream it, and it was like, it's a really small room to be screaming like that. So he just found this, and it is a official 1988 Calgary, Canada Olympic Winter Games triangle.
Look at that, it even says that right on the edge there. So how did you guys come by this?
I have no idea where he found it. It might have been a garage sale.
That's
But
pretty cool.
he just walks up here now and goes, "Last call." Nice and easy.
Hi, I'm Chris with Beerploma, and here with Brett, we're going to do a flight of beers. So please, Brett, tell me what we have up.
You have the West Side Popper, which is our jalapeno cream ale, our Implosion IPA, our Red Bonnet Amber, and our Imperial Stout that literally got kegged just before you guys got here. So this is a brand new beer. No one's actually ever tasted this one. I haven't made this one yet on this system.
Awesome, Beerploma exclusive. All right, so tell me about the first beer that we're having.
That's just a standard cream ale, standard cream ales are made with corn. And then what I do is I take the jalapenos, I smoke them under apple wood for about 2 hours. And then that goes into basically the secondary for about 5 days, depending on the jalapeno. I don't want to get, you can't make it too hot.
Well, I really look forward to having this, especially since we're filming in the Midwest where ketchup is a spice. It's nice to have something a little bit more robust, a little more interesting. So, smelling it, you can definitely taste that this is a spicy beer. You can smell the jalapenos, and it's a real good fresh scent. So, what else are we going to taste, or what else could somebody expect to taste of
You're
this beer?
definitely going to get some of the smokiness of the pepper. This could be very mild in the pepper, but you're going to taste the freshness of the jalapeno at the exact same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's also the fresh hop version, which I only make 1 time a year, which makes it a little different, just in the sense that you're going to taste less of the hop and more of the jalapeno presence.
Yeah.
The regular one is a little bit, it's not hoppy, don't get me wrong, but you do taste the hop flavor as well as the jalapeno, and more of the smoke kind of comes out with that balance between the jalapeno and the hops.
Yeah, so the first couple sips I've had of this, you definitely taste that it's a jalapeno ale. And for anybody who might be spice adverse or a little afraid or intimidated by the fact that it's a jalapeno ale and you think it's going to be really spicy and burn your mouth, it's not. What you get is, if you've ever had fresh jalapenos, they taste fresh. They have like a green pepper, like earthy taste to it, and that's what you get here. And that's really kind of coming through. It's right up front, but it isn't overpowering. All right, so tell me about
The next one you're going to drink is the Implosion IPA. That thing, the reason why it's called that is because the first time we made it, we were making it on my old system, which is like this 55-gallon homemade system, and I had a glass top on it. And my assistants were kegging out of it, and they imploded the entire glass top. without actually putting, because they didn't release the airlock on it. So the entire top blew inside of it. So that one was gone after that. But we decided after we made it again to call it the implosion. So that's how it got its name. And that beer is a basic IPA. It's got a bittering hop of the Warrior up front. It's finished off with an aroma hop of Calypso and Cascade. It used to have Citra in it, but I've changed that.
Great. I love hearing about names of beers. I mean, that's half of the fun about trying a beer out, is just like, why does it get its name? So it's a good story. And glad that we're not having the implosion batch. All right. So yeah, smelling it, we do get that Cascade, that fresh, grassy, really flowery aroma. In that first taste, that's a taste of springtime right there. So you do get that really grassy, real hoppy flavor to it. So tell me what we have up next.
This is our Red Bonnet Amber. It's a traditional amber recipe. The only thing we do differently with this beer is we put 13 pounds of cherries into the boil, which makes it a little cloudier, but I think it's worth it. Gives it a hint of cherry, but not a lot. So the average person who looks at the beer and says, "Oh, there's cherry in it, I don't want it, I don't like fruit in my beer," they're gonna like this, I think, anyway, because it tastes like a beer. It doesn't taste like a fruit beer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is good. So now knowing that there's cherries in there, you get like this really mellow, like dried hint of cherry in there. It's not like drinking a lambic. It isn't going to taste like a...
And there's not like real, there's actual dried cherries. So they're dehydrated cherry, if you will.
Mhm.
So when they go into the boil, the beer almost hydrates them, just extracts a little bit of juice, not a lot, but it does, unfortunately, distract the cloudiness, which we here at Wabasha don't really care about.
Yeah, the cloudiness, that's...
We feel that beer tastes well enough to have the cloudiness and it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, the cloudiness just adds to the character of it. It has a good, deep red color. I don't know if that's coming through on camera, but, now knowing there's cherry, you can kind of see that represented in the color. The cloudiness, I think that's fine. It's great. And that subtle cherry flavors coming through. Aside from that, everything else is well balanced. Again, well crafted, well balanced. Little bit of hop, little bit of a spice to it, but that's a nice, refreshing beer. That's good year round. All right, so tell me about this last beer.
This is my latest beer that we've made. We just kegged it this afternoon, so you're the first one to taste this one outside of myself and some of my other guys in the brewery. I've been making it for a really long time, probably 7 years, but it's the first time I've made it on this system. So, like everything else, I was a little nervous how it should come out, but it turned out perfect. Comes in at a 9.5, so it's our Imperial Stout. It's pretty big, but also drinks very light for a 9.5. Like I said, I'm very excited about it. What's really fun about this beer is I actually put 100 pounds of brown sugar into the boil, which gives it kind of a burnt sugar flavor in the beer itself.
Oh wow. Yeah. So I gotta ask, not doing a little bit of home brewing. So when you are taking a recipe that you would do just on a little homebrew system, what has to be done, or what are the preparations you make to ramp up this scale? It isn't just like making a batch of cookies and you multiply with lots of math. So it is a little
math, and then a few trial and errors on some bigger systems, and you just kind of keep moving it, and you kind of see what happens, and math. But generally, math doesn't lie.
All right. So yeah, this is, for a 9.5, you are right. This is really well balanced. I always love trying, higher ABV beers, just because it's kind of like that make or break point. Can they balance it? Does it work out? Do you have the right balance of ingredients to alcohol, or does it really just have that astringency, really high alcohol smell to it? But
you want to be careful with this one. My sister had a pint earlier called a cab.
Yeah, this would be Uber in a glass right now, people. It is. You can't really taste that you're drinking a 9.5 beer. This is amazing. This is really, and thank you so much for giving me the chance and the opportunity to have one of the first sips of it. This is really fantastic. So, not only am I the first one to do this, or have this beer, but there's also another special thing happening with this beer coming up for everybody else.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna firkin this beer. Well, I have firkin this beer. So I have kind of a 3-month spread. I'm gonna release one December 1st, drink until it's gone. It'll probably be gone that weekend. It's in-house only.
Mhm.
Then I'm gonna release one on January 1st. Same beer. And then I'm gonna release another one on February 1st. Same beer. We're just gonna age them. But what I've done in the firkins is I've added some oak to the firkins to bring some more of those earthy oak flavors out. Make it, and like I said, it's gonna be a firkin, so it's gonna be a cask beer. It's gonna be a lot smoother, real ale flavor. You're gonna taste all the flavors of the beer profile. So we're really excited about that here at the tap room.
All right, and that was one question I had going into this. What is a firkin?
Firkin is basically a cask beer. I mean, it's been going back since for years in England. It's finally caught on here. They used to age them in actually oak casks, and now they've moved to the stainless steel market, which is essentially this one here. But what's fun about firkins is kind of brings the home brewing back to the commercial brewer, because now he can have fun. He can start adding oak chips, cherries if you like, whatever flavor you can kind of come up with in your own brain. Kind of makes that brewer, instead of just the same old mundane thing of making beer every day, you can actually make something fun, something you're excited to drink. This is like every other job, it just gets the same thing after a while. So that gets everything very exciting, you know,
That does sound
especially
really
within the brewery and within the community.
That's really exciting. So, so for anybody wanting to have a sample of that firkin, they come in here and see what you have brewing
Yep,
out?
it's going to be served right here, and we're hoping that it all goes well. You know, we'll see.
And so that's just on Fridays?
We'll release it on Fridays, and then it should be gone by the end of the weekend if it doesn't get gone on that Friday, and then, but it'll always be released on a Friday. Watch our Facebook.
Fantastic. So, posted on your Facebook will be the Firkin Friday of the week.
Yep.
Well, there you have it. A fantastic stout. Great way to start off Firkin Friday. And, as you heard, oak aged. I mean, that will just make this even better. All right.
Thanks for coming up, man.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate the flight. And I'm going to need an Uber.
Okay guys, that's all from Wabasha Brewing. Be sure to check out their website at wabashabrewing.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Guys, thank you very much for having us out here. You guys brew some fantastic beers. You guys have a great facility, and we look forward to seeing some great things from you guys into the future. And thank you all for joining us on our podcast. Don't forget, you can find us on YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, and on TuneIn Radio. Make sure if you like our show to click that like button or leave us a comment. We're looking forward to hearing from you. That's all for tonight, folks. Prost.
Prost.
Prost. Hey, is the seat taken? Rough day at the office? Prost.